Hello everybody, this is James from Rich Music School. I wanted to show you guys kind of a really simple technique. So for a lot of producers, a synthesizer might be really intimidating, and you may have like one idea of what you can use it for, you know, crazy synth noises and stuff like that. But really what you can do is you can create your own percussive noises, your own kick drums, snares, stuff like that. So I'm going to show you a really simple technique today that you can do in Serum to kind of achieve that. So what I have here is I have kind of what's close to my final product, what you can kind of get and work from if you follow the steps, and it sounds like this. A lot of different flavors of kick drum that you can get out of it. And the great thing about this is, you know, changing it, I can modulate a lot about the way my kick drum sounds and kind of just dial it in to be exactly the way I want it. So I'm going to open up a new instance of Serum here and show you guys exactly how to do that. So here we go, fresh Serum. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go scroll down to the Analog tab, and then I'm going to go to Analog Bass Drum Sine Wave. So this is just pretty much a basic sine wave. It just creates a really nice character for a bass drum. It's kind of covers the ranges of frequencies we really want to oscillate. So we're going to take LFO2 or 1. Let's start with 1. And we're going to drag it up here to the coarse tuning. And what we're going to do is we're going to adjust to taste. So we're going to drag it up. Oh, that sounds terrible. So we're going to drag it the other way. Okay, that sounds a little closer to what we want. So now we're going to go down here to LFO 1, and we're going to select envelope. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to affect the curve of this envelope. So we're going to drag it so it has instantaneous attack and then drops down over a period of time. So this is the curve that the pitch will be following of this waveform. And now you can see we have something, voila, something resembling a kick drum. Beautiful, beautiful. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go over here to envelope 1. So that's our amplifier envelope. So all total volume and signal is affected by this in the synthesizer. We're going to take our sustain all the way down, and this is kind of how we're going to control, you know, how much space our kick drum has to pulsate and then go back to 0. So this really affects kind of the note length, what we're doing here. So we can set the decay at a decent level, and then if we want to give a little more thickness, we can increase the hold, gives it a little bit more space to be at full volume there. And then if we want to make our kick drum more clicky, we can affect the attack of this amp envelope as well. The next thing we can do, if we want to add some more like high transients to our kick drum, we can click noise, and then we can go to attacks kick, and then you have all of these wonderful, wonderful kick transients to pick from already there. So I'm going to select one shot. So this is useful because I don't want this sound looping. I want it to be a single shot. And we're going to also have it do keyboard tracking. And we're going to affect the pitch and level until we get a high transients. Ooh, I like that right there. That's very punchy. We can also affect the octave that our kick drum is happening in. Right there. But yeah, that's basically the idea. You know, we have this first pitch modulating envelope right here, and then we're controlling volume here, and then we're controlling the transients here, and then tuning our drums to taste. I always recommend tuning your drums. Maybe not keep the random phase on for this one. It's not such a bad effect. But from here, you know, what I would do is I would kind of take this raw drum sound and then I would route that to a channel in my mixer. And I'll bring my mixer up here for you guys to see real quick. Boom. That's the mixer. So real quick, I'm just going to draw in, you know, 4 on the floor beat. But I don't like the octave it's in, so I'm going to pull it down again. Boom. Okay, cool. So I've got my kick drum that I just made going, and now I'm going to go to process it. So essentially try and shape it. So I can see it here on the mixer. I'm going to add a couple effects here. So first of all, I'm going to add an EQ. I'm going to use Fabfilter's Pro Q, but you can use any one that you like. And first I'm going to find frequencies to cut off. So I'm kind of looking here for the fundamental frequency. So I'm kind of seeing things along this range. There does seem to be some issues with phasing, so I'm going to go back here. And that's a little bit more consistent. There we go. So now I'm going to affect the resolution so I can really see where things are hitting. So this kind of looks like the lowest part here. Cut a few frequencies here. Get out of that, get that 500 range. That's usually where you hear a lot of boxy sounds, so we want to cut a lot of that to kind of make this sound nicer. Yep, brought back a little bit more of that high transients there. Oh, didn't mean to put that point in. It's a tough choice between, you know what, I'm going to make my kick a little clickier. That way if, you know, you're making a bass or something, you have room down here for your kick drum to fill. Alright, so that sounds good so far. The next thing that I'm going to do is we're going to go back to our mixer, back to channel 5. I'm going to add just a little bit of compression, just a little bit. I'm going to use Fabfilter Pro C. You can use any compressor that you want. It does not matter. I have a few presets on here that I like to start from. Let's take this beyond and let's see what it sounds like. So again, yeah, I'm not looking for too crazy of a curve when I'm setting my compression. I'm just kind of trying to normalize what's at the top here and get myself this kind of consistency you see on the mixer, so that later I can pull things up in shape. Cool. So next, I'm going to add Saturn, and this is a saturator, so we're adding a little bit of distortion right now. So I'm going to go down to the preset Kick Shaper. Boom, and now I've got something super, super punchy. It's nice and controlled. It's still got a little bit of bass in it. And if I want to, if I decide I don't like the character of it, I don't have to go searching for another kick drum sample. All I have to do is come back to my let's see. Boom, and now I've got a completely different character for my kick drum. It's that simple. Yeah, so just to review, we had Serum, so a synthesizer. We created a kick drum modulating the pitch. We created an envelope right here. We went through the steps on how to set those. Then we post-processed it through the mixer. So we routed that sound through to the mixer. We put an equalizer, a compressor, and a saturator on it in order to get this sound. So no matter what your DAW is, you know, if you have these kind of tools available, you can replicate this process pretty much with any kind of facsimile. You don't need these exact tools to do this. This is kind of a conceptual thing that you can do with any sort of similar set of tools, be it an Ableton or Logic or Reason or what have you. As long as you have a synthesizer and those effects, you are good to go. Cool. So I hope this has been helpful for anybody who has never tried to design a drum sound before. I know for some of the pros out there, this might be kind of basic, but I figured it was a good place to start. Let me know if you guys have any questions or want to see anything different. I'm out. I got to go teach, but stay classy.